What's up, warrior? Zheng here. Welcome back to our daily wisdom. We are in the middle of a series, part 4 or 5, of how to build your empire from scratch. If you missed any of the previous days, go on to my YouTube and you can find the previous days as well too. They all sync up together. But part 4 today, we're going to be talking about how to reprogram fear to serve you. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, put a 1 in the comments. I'd love to know whether live or on replay. And it's one of the most important things to do. So in the previous days, we've talked about starting with your grand vision. Then we talked about going out and putting the strategy together of putting a list of who you need to become in order to achieve the goals that you want. Then we spoke about acting as if you're already there, that $1 million year earner that you want to be, that 6-figure year earner that you want to be, whoever that is. And now what's going to happen is inevitably you will face fear. You see, when you go for your dreams, fear is inevitable. In fact, have you ever think about someone that you really admire in the world? Maybe it's Michael Jordan, maybe it's Elon Musk. Like, who's a hero that you have in your life? Comment below a hero. Maybe it's MLK. Maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's some president. Maybe it's one of your parents, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's a coach, right? And if you look at any one of these people that we highly, highly respect, and good morning, anyone that you respect, one big reason why you respect them, you smile fear in the face. Exactly, right? They do that. They look at fear in a different way. And you just look at them, you're like, they're kind of weird. Yeah, Elon's like crazy. Here you see a guy taking on the world. Here you see a guy taking us to Mars. Here you see a guy buying up Twitter. And you look at these things, you're like, they're nuts. And it's like this circuit in them of fear. It's switched. And I want to talk about how you can reprogram fear today so that you can become like that, because it's inevitable. If you're going for your vision, if you're building your empire from scratch, you must learn how to reprogram fear. Okay? So why does fear happen? I think it's super, super important to understand. Fear is the feel. I love this little visual here, right? This sick person represents your mind. You see, if you want to overcome something, it comes from understanding, right? Now, some people say just face the fear, do it anyway. And yeah, you can just just go crush through it and everything. But it's important to understand how your mind works. You see, this represents you. Okay, we have 3 parts in one. We have spirit, we have a mind, we have a body. Spirit is all knowing, it's everything, it's omniscient, right? God is all over the place. We have a mind, we have a conscious, we have a subconscious, and we have a body. The body is an instrument of the mind. Okay, so where does fear come from? Fear is an emotion that happens in the subconscious mind. And it happens because when we start to accept a new idea, take this as your vision, your $1 million business, the dream home, the dream life, whatever that it is, you then accept this new idea. You're like, oh, I want that. And instantly, what starts to happen is fear sets in. Isn't that interesting? Who here's ever made a decision before and then you felt kind of anxious afterwards, right? Put a me in the comments below if that's ever happened. You're like, oh, this is weird. I'm in this weird place now. I don't know what to do. What do I do next? Oh my gosh, am I going to fail? Like, it's normal. Okay. And why is this happening? Well, you have a battle between your conscious and your subconscious mind. When your conscious says, I want to build this dream $1 million business, I want to build this empire, your subconscious, we think 60,000 thoughts a day. 95+% of those are the exact same as the day before. So it is normal that your new idea will battle against your old ideas. So you got this tension. It's like this tug of war that's going on in your mind. Now, the subconscious is stronger than the conscious because it's been programmed into there. So this tension, what happens is this: you get excited, you start to want to take some action, but because you haven't exactly reprogrammed your subconscious yet, it leads into, I call it mental puberty. right? You're like in this weird transition process. Remember how awkward puberty was? Was anyone an awkward puberty kid? I was. Voice cracking, acne everywhere. It was just like, oh, weird. You're in this transition phase, right? So you have this new idea, you're transitioning into your subconscious. So what happens is it leads into doubt, which then leads to anxiety. And if we let that settle, it triggers your subconscious to have what's called fear, and it paralyzes you. And you're like, well, maybe I can't do it. Maybe I can't become this great business. Maybe I can't succeed. Maybe I can't win. Maybe I'm crazy. Have you experienced that before? We call it the terror bear. And you're like, okay. Now, how do you reprogram the fear then? It's normal. Okay. Fear is simply an emotion that happens when you are in mental puberty, when you're transitioning this new idea, this vision into your subconscious mind. So, how do you then reprogram this? Number one, know that that's what happens. Know that it's normal. Know that it always happens whenever you go to. If you feel no fear, you're kind of weird. Fear is a normal emotion. However, successful people have reprogrammed their habit of how to respond to fear because they say, the fact that I'm feeling fear, I hope you get this. The fact that I'm feeling fear with this new idea shows me that I'm going through the transition towards a new idea. If you don't feel fear, then it means we're staying in our comfort zone. So this is what we do. We say, okay, it just means I'm going through this battle in my mind, but I have to continue to take the aggressive action towards the direction of the new idea. You start to reprogram your body and discipline it to do the thing that you're not used to doing. You make the extra phone calls. You do the extra prospecting. You learn a new skill. You show up in a different way. You persist regardless of the feeling because you know it's just a lie that's going on in your mind. So then what happens? The more and more you take this action of the new idea, the more and more that you show up as the person that you need to be in order to achieve the goals that you need to have, it starts to then give feedback back to your subconscious because you become the person that does the thing. And when you start doing the thing, you then say, I am that type of person. So if your dream is to be $1 million earner, for example, build $1 million business, when you start taking $1 million actions, you start then saying, I am $1 million earner. And you literally reprogram your subconscious to then be that new person. And you do this over and over and over and over again. And what happens is this: one day, your subconscious becomes this new idea. And that day is an interesting day. We call it freedom. You literally wake up, and that fear that you had about doing that crazy thing before is now the new norm. I used to be deathly afraid of public speaking, for example. I don't know if any of you are afraid of public speaking. I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, and like, I don't like my face. I don't like my voice. I don't like being on camera. I get it. I didn't like me for sure. And I never thought I'd be speaking, for example. And now we've been blessed to be on stages in front of 65,000 people virtually around the world and all different types of things. And I do like 3 to 4 lives a day, and I don't need notes and blah, blah, blah. And people ask me, they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, when I was in that place, I accepted a new idea. And I said, here's my vision for our empire. To build that empire, I knew that one thing that I needed to develop was the ability to communicate. Right? And then I started to do the thing. And even though I didn't like it, for example, on video, I'll do a full series on this later. If you want to get good at live video, you know how to get good at live video or a video like this. Do it every single day for a month. So I went every single day live for a month, even if no one was looking, because I want to become the person that did the thing. 30 days in, I did a live. Nothing happened in my business because of this. But I got better and I was reprogramming my subconscious. And then you know what happened? It was interesting. Is at the end of the 30 days, I thought no one was watching. But one person saw that I was doing a live. and we started getting into conversation. And this one person actually became one of our top leaders in our business. But if I did not do the 30 days of doing the awkward thing, the fearful thing, then I wouldn't have reprogrammed my subconscious to be the different type of person I needed to be. And you attract in your life not what you want. You attract in life who you are. And what really happened is I became the type of person that could actually influence a type of person like this leader. And wow, what if I never did that? What do you need to face today? What's the fearful thing that you know that you need to do regardless? And if you start to look at fear differently, if you start to understand this process and you start taking the inspired action over and over and over again, you will see how exciting and thrilling life can be. Because our goal is to constantly progress and constantly unleash what I call the inner warrior, because you have a next level in you that needs to show up. And when you start doing that, your business explodes in interesting ways. So hope that was encouraging. If it was, then like this, share this, and subscribe to my YouTube. If you missed any of the other days, definitely watch those two because they all build upon each other. And then tomorrow, we're going to end with the final part to this 5-part series. And we're going to talk about how to build your empire from scratch. So that interests you, awesome. And side note, if you are also looking for a business to build, I coach entrepreneurs to build their business, unleash their inner warrior. I'm running an organization called the Warrior Movement, where we build you up so that you can go crush it in your business and show up in a different way in your life as well too. If you want more information on that, shoot me a message or go to my bio or go to my caption, and I have a link. It just says work with me, and you can fill that out. We'd love to chat. All right, everybody. Other than that,